There are 6 really ingenious tricks with matches that almost nobody knows, but really everyone should know. I'll show you exactly what toothpaste has to do with them and why you should stick them in your potting soil in a moment. But did you know that you can also use matches on your car? On your interior doors? Especially if you have scratches like the ones you can see here? Because if they are not very deep, but just a little superficial, like mine here, then all you need is a match. Light it and carefully touch the scratch with it. You should not touch the plastic itself. We want it to soften a little here. Once you have warmed it up a little, all you have to do is rub it over a few times with your finger or thumb. You may have to repeat this a few more times and then wipe it over again with a cloth. But afterwards, you should see that the scratch has really disappeared completely. But did you know that you should always light a match in the toilet? I'll explain why in a moment. First of all, here's a little trick to get a little money from your friends if you bet against them. Just bet them that they won't be able to leave an empty matchbook standing on end when they drop it. No matter how many times they try, they won't make it. When it's your turn, all you have to do is open the tray a little and it will always stand on end when you drop it. But from this little party trick, let's move on to the toilet. Because when you go to the toilet, especially when you do your big business, you know that it might smell a bit bad afterwards, but maybe you don't always want everyone to smell what you've just left in the toilet. And all you need to avoid the whole thing is a conventional match. Because once you've finished and flushed away what you've left behind, all you have to do is take a match, light it briefly and then blow it out again. This releases a sulfur smell that comes from the matches and ensures that it masks all other odors. This means that nobody will smell that you did your big business beforehand. To make the whole thing less conspicuous, you can, for example, light a candle or something else that you used the match for. That way you can avoid a small embarrassing situation. But what's the story behind the toothpaste? This and other ingenious tricks are coming soon. First, I'll show you why you should definitely soak matches in 250 milliliters of water. With 250 milliliters of water, you need about 10 to 15 of these matches. You should simply put them in the water. You can also stir them from time to time. What you will then see is that the ignition head slowly dissolves in the water. And that is exactly what we want to achieve, because we want to absorb the ingredients of the ignition head into our water. These are sulfur, magnesium, and phosphorus. If your ignition heads are red like mine, you will notice that the water becomes increasingly reddish over time. After about 30 minutes, the whole thing is ready. But what is the point now? Of course, you shouldn't drink the water under any circumstances. However, sulfur, magnesium, and phosphorus are very good ingredients and nutrients for your plants. You can therefore water your houseplants regularly with this water and ensure that they get really beautiful green leaves and strong root growth. But there is this slightly different trick. To do this, you should first simply stick the matches with the ignition head into your potting soil, as you can see here in the plant. In a small flower pot like this, about 6 to 8 matches are enough. Once you have stuck them in everywhere, you can put the plant back where it was before. The advantage now is the same as when you dissolve the water. Because now, when we water the plant regularly, we ensure that phosphorus, magnesium, and sulfur are dissolved here and end up in the potting soil. But it has another advantage. If you generally have a problem with fungus gnats or fruit flies that somehow come out of your potting soil and there are more and more of them settling all over your home, you can also use this trick to ensure that they die in the soil. This means that the larvae cannot develop any further and you will quickly get the problem under control. But what exactly are the matches and toothpaste all about? You can actually use them to protect your matches. Grab the matches and place them in the toothpaste packaging. Make sure there is a very thin layer of toothpaste around the entire ignition head. I now throw this into water, as you can see in my picture. This ensures that the ignition head doesn't get wet or soften. After a while, I simply take them out of the water again, clean the ignition heads completely of the toothpaste, and can still light them because the toothpaste has protected them from the water. By the way, there are lots of other secret tricks with toothpaste that almost nobody knows about. You can see what they are in the video you see on the screen now. Click directly on it.